It's math time with Heinz. It's math time with Heinz. Math time.
Hi everybody, so in this lesson, which actually isn't in your book, we're going to be playing this little game where we're just going to work on some number skills, work on some number sense, and get good with this idea of just basic getting our number facts down. So I like to call it the multiply add game because it involves multiplying and adding, things all of us can do, which is the good part of this. Every single one of us can do this. So list all the positive integer factors of the following numbers. So what are the numbers that multiply to 20? What are the positive numbers that multiply to 20? So when I do this, I say, all right, I start with 1. Everyone always forgets 1 is a factor. 1 times 20. 2 times 10, right? 2 times 10 is 20. And I just kind of go in order. 3 doesn't divide in nicely. 4 times 5. 5. Oh, see how I started repeating my combinations there? That tells me I'm done. So I go in order and figure out what's the other factor that makes the given, in this case, 20. So same thing with 8. What multiplies to 8? Well, 1 times 8. And I'm going to go to 2. 2 times 4. We all know that. 2 times 4 is 8. 3, nope. 4 times 2, that's a repeat. 4 times 2 is a repeat, so I don't need to write that. So these are my only combination of integers that multiply to 8. 36 is a big one. What makes 36? 1 and 36, always start with 1. 2. So on my calculator, if I don't know this off the top of my head, what am I typing in my calculator? Well, I'm typing in, I know 2 is one of the factors, so let me do 36 divided by 2. I get 18. Let's try 3. 36 divided by 3. 12. 36 divided by 4. 36 divided by 5, not nice. 6 times 6 is 36. And then once you get to that, that's kind of a repeat there, right? I'm not going to go to 7 because 6 times 6 is everything after that's going to start repeating. So these are my factors of 36. And we're going to need our factors today when we play this add multiply game. So I'm going to be asking you to find me 2 numbers that satisfy both conditions. So what multiplies to 10 and also adds to 7. So we focus on our multiply. What multiplies to 10? Well, let's write out all of our factors. 1 and 10. 2 times 5. 3 doesn't divide in nicely. 4 doesn't divide. And then I get 5 times 2, so I'm repeating. So of these pairs, who adds to 7? What pair adds to 7? Well, 2 times 5. 2 plus 5 gives me 7. 2 times 5 is 10. So the 2 numbers that I need here are 2 and 5. That's all we're doing today, is playing some mental math, getting good at dealing with our kind of these computations in our head, and how do we deal with some of the trickier ones. What applies to 24? Well, let's start off easy. 1 and 24. 2, again, use a calculator, divide. 24 divided by 2. I hope you know that. It's 12. But if not, you got a calculator at your disposal. You just have to stop being lazy. 3 times 8. 4 times 6. 5, I got a decimal, so it doesn't divide in nicely, and then that gives me 6 times 4 again. So those are my combos. Those are my pairs of numbers that I could use. Those multiply to 24. Who adds to 11? That's the question. Which of these pairs add back to 11? Well, here it is right here. 3 plus 8. 3 plus 8 is 11. 3 plus 8 is 11. And it also multiplies to 24. So we use our multiplier, and then we see which pair of numbers adds. 36 is a big one. 1 times 36. We always start with our multiply. 2, again, use your calculator, divide. 3 times 12. 4 times 9. 5 doesn't divide in nicely. 6 times 6. Yeah, we already made this chart before. So which of these pairs of factors adds to 13? So when I add these factors together, I need to figure out, there's the bell, I need to figure out which pair adds to 13. Well, last time I checked, 9 plus 4 is 13. So those are the two numbers that I need, are 4 and 9. And one more here. What multiplies to 80? Here we go. 1 times 80. I'm looking for adding to 21. 2 times 40. Still too big. I don't think 3 divides into 80. No. 4 times 20. 5 times 16. Aha, I'm going to stop right there because 5 times 16 adds to 21. So notice, once you find what you need, you can stop. You don't need to keep going and doing 8 times 10 is the last one. But once you find the factors that you need that add to the given number, you're done. So this is great when we deal with positive numbers, but there's these things called negative numbers that we need to deal with. So find me two numbers, same idea, that multiply to negative 18 that add to 3. Notice we're multiplying to a negative number. So that tells me, well, the only way to get a negative number is if one factor is positive and the other factor has to be negative. So when I think about this, I need to realize one of them is positive and one of the numbers is negative. So what multiplies to 18? 1 and 18. 2 times 9. 3 times 6. But remember, one of these is positive, one of them is negative, and I need to somehow add to 3. So what gets me to 3 here? Really, who's 3 apart from each other? What distance between these two numbers is 3? How far apart are they if I kind of subtract them? So when I look at this, I notice, wait a minute, 3 and 6. 3 and 6 add to 3 if I do 6 minus 3. So notice, one of the numbers is positive, one of them is negative, and they add to positive 3. So when you have opposite signs like this, you've got to think a little bit more. Let's try another. What multiplies to negative 40? So again, one's positive and one's negative. 40, 2 and 20, 4 and 10, 5 and 8. And again, use your calculator to make this list of factors. That adds to negative 3. Well, I'm adding to a negative 3. So I need to figure out which pair of numbers are 3 apart. Those are not 3 apart. Those are not 3 apart. Who's 3 away from each other? These guys are. 5 and 8. But how do I get a negative 3? Well, the bigger number takes the negative. The bigger number, to end up being negative, I need a negative 8 and 5. And again, check. 5 minus 8 is negative 3. What multiplies to negative 20? What multiplies to negative 12? Let's do 20. One's positive, one's negative. 1 and 20. 2 and 10. OA updates. 3, no. 4 and 5, and I think that's it. So what adds to negative 1? Which numbers are really 1 apart from each other? Those aren't. 4 and 5 are 1 apart from each other. The question is, who's positive, who's negative? Well, I want to end up negative, so the 5's got to be negative. 4 minus 5 gives me negative 1. So you really have kind of an extra step when you deal with these negative numbers. These negative numbers kind of mess things up. What multiplies to negative 24? Well, 1 and 24. And again, one's positive, one's negative. 2 and 12. 3 and 8. 4 and 6. So who adds to 10? Well, some of you might be saying, well, wait, it's 4 and 6. But wait a second. Remember, those don't multiply to negative 24. Those multiply to positive 24. I need someone to be positive and someone to be negative. So 4 and 6 look really tempting here. But who's 10 apart from each other? Which numbers have a difference of 10 is really what I'm looking for here. 2 and 12 do. To be a positive 10, I need a negative 2. 12 minus 2 gives me a positive 10. Okay, so when you multiply to a negative number, you have a positive factor and a negative factor. Last set here, and then I'll let you guys go. Find me two numbers that satisfy these conditions. Who multiplies to 15? Well, again, positive 15. That means I don't have that opposite signs. I don't have a positive and a negative. 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Well, how do I add to a negative number if I multiply to a positive number? I need to add to a negative. Oh, two negatives multiply to a positive. Two negatives. So you got to be careful. When you multiply to a positive, they have the same sign. In this case, everybody's negative. Negative 3 and negative 5 get me to negative 8. So again, when you multiply to a positive, both of them can be negative. So who multiplies to 28? 1 and 28. 2 and 14, 3 no, 4 and 7. But I'm multiplying to a positive number, so that tells me same sign. They're both positive or they're both negative. I don't know which one. Oh, they're both negative because they are adding to negative 11. So who gets me to negative 11 here? Well, last time I checked, negative 4 and negative 7 make negative 11. So when you multiply to a positive number, got an extra colon there, they have the same sign. 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 times 9, 5 no, 6 times 6. But I need to add to negative 15. So somehow I need to end up negative. Well, they both have to be negative. They have to have the same sign if I multiply to a positive number. So who gets me 15 here? I'm thinking it's 3, negative 3, and negative 12. Yep, those guys add to negative 15. And finally, multiplies to 20. Ooh, but I'm adding to a negative number. And I know they have the same sign. They're both positive. They're both negative in this case. How do I get negative 21? Well, you can't forget the simplest one, the simplest factor, the number in itself. The number in 1. 1 times 20 gets me to 20. In this case, negative 1 and negative 20. So we're going to be doing this a lot for the next couple of weeks, and it's an important skill that you get down and get some mental math, get those quick facts back into your head. And I'll see you guys soon.